Hi guys, it's me Legabuild, and today I'm gonna show you some Forsaken tips to get better at the game. Also, I would like to thank this guy for helping me out for what video idea. Without further ado, let's get right into the video now. Tip number 1. Never let your stamina reach 0. Because if it hits 0, then it will take a lot longer to regenerate all of your stamina. Or if you're Shedletsky, slash the killer as soon as you hit 0. Tip number 2 for Cool Kid. You can use Corrupt Nature for destroying Veronica's graffiti, hitting people who are doing generators. It's set horror. Tip number 3. As to time, you can crouch and use dagger to do a big leap to increase chances of stabbing. Tip number 4. Never run backwards in shift lock. It miraculously slows you down, so you'll be really slow. But this isn't a problem for killers though, since you're running forward. Tip number 5. When using 1x, use entanglement, then use mass infection to do a lot of damage. Also use unstable eye at the start of every round. Tip number 6. Let the killer get a little close, and then you run away to get a distance advantage and waste the killer's stamina. Tip number 7. When you're a survivor like 007N7 or noob, use a dark skin because you'll be invisible. With a dark skin when using Ghost Burger or Clone. Tip number 8. You can block John Doe's spikes as Guest 1337. Tip number. As 007N7, you can use your clone to get rid of John Doe's digital footprint. Tip number 10. You can charge on this thing to get less slowness time, meaning you can escape the killer using charge here. Tip number 11. Use the virtual insanity emote as Guest 1337 so you can pretend you're blocking, but this only works if you have milestone 3 and 4. Now I'm pretty bored, so let's do a speed round of mistakes people make until the background match ends. Let's go.
I'm gonna start out with most obvious ones to progressively more mistakes that go unnoticed. So let's begin. First, and I think one of the biggest mistakes a player can do is not turning on visible hitboxes, because most of the players don't even know about this feature in the first place. Without this feature, you won't really understand the reach and range of certain attacks and how to avoid them. It helps you understand the game way better. Also, there's an option to turn on collision hitboxes, but I personally don't use that and I probably never will. It's not really as important as hitboxes, but they can help you understand when and where hitboxes collide with the player. Anyways, when turning on the hitboxes, you'll notice that some abilities are made up of a lot of hitboxes in a fraction of a second. Keeping that in mind, you can perform a so-called flick to spread out those hitboxes, resulting in your ability having a wider reach, which is super useful. Second, and also a very big mistake, yeah, I know you've heard of it before, but not doing generators. If you skip them, you miss out on a lot of cash, miles points, XP, and you're literally ignoring your objective as a survivor. Like, come on. If your team completes all the generators on a map, you shave off 1 minute and 20 seconds from the timer. That's a huge advantage and gives the killer way less time to wipe you all out. Third mistake, which kinda goes unnoticed, but it's overusing high ground loops. High ground loops can work, but they're far from the best option. Falling from high ground slows you down and the killer doesn't get that debuff. They're immune to fall slowdown. Try to find looping spots on flat ground instead, but if you have to jump, don't sprint right away, wait a few seconds for the slowdown to wear off, then run to save your stamina and make the most out of it. Also, a small pro tip, you can fling yourself on the little mountain in your resting place for a quick dash. Mistake number 4 is playing like a lone wolf. Too many players just stand around dancing in the corners or doing absolutely nothing, contributing absolutely nothing to the team, and that's not exactly how top survivors play, you know? Good survivors support each other by healing, shielding, stunning, or even distracting the killer. If you don't have any abilities to help other others like noob for example. But hey, if you're still new and not confident enough, it's okay to stay out of the way. Just don't be a burden to your team and don't embarrass yourself. Mistake number 5 is placing taps traps in obvious spots. If you're using taps traps, don't just drop tripwires at obvious choke points and your trip mines. Try to hide them or place them creatively. It's way more effective and catches players off guard. For example, instead of placing traps like this, I mean come on, it's super obvious. I mean every killer can see this. Instead you want to find some sort of blind spot like over here where the killer doesn't exactly see where the traps are. For example, something like this. As you can see, those traps are literally impossible to see from this angle, and once the killer comes to this angle, by then it's too late. This works on any map. You just need some creativity to know like where to place them and stuff. You can also place them behind the object or something like that where you can't see them. This way the killer doesn't see anything from this angle, but once he comes to the top, he sees the traps, but by then it's too late, you know. You get the point. You need some creativity and place those traps in blind spots, not somewhere in the open, you know. Another mistake is using 1x entanglement inefficiently or other kills' abilities. When you play 1x, always try to use entanglement at close range, as close as possible. It's way more accurate that way and way more precise. Also a combo tip, use the unstable eye first for the speed boost, chase them down and wait until they are low on stamina, then use entanglement. Same idea applies to other abilities like Walks with Override and probably Noli in the future, I don't know. But don't try to risk it if the player is far away and moving. Tip number 7, always stay away from the killer spawn and don't get too close to the killer. I swear some of you guys are roaming around the map like it's a playground or something. No, there's a killer on a killing spree right now and is trying to kill you. If you just hide around corners, walls or objects and be sneaky like 2-time, playing as a survivor is going to be way more easy, trust me. And also you can memorize where the killer spawns on every single map, which you can test out for free in your private server. But aside from that, when the killer uses detection ability like 4 error or unstable eye, use a stealth ability at the same time to counter it because it has a sound cue and you'll know when to use it. Now point number 8 is some people don't know whether they should use shift lock or first person perspective to aim their abilities with. As for this, it's purely upon you. I personally like to use both because both are quite situational. I use shift lock when the killer or the thing I'm trying to aim at is close, since you have a bigger field of view, and use first person perspective when the target is far away, since it's kinda like zooming onto a target and being able to aim more precisely with your cursor. But it works both ways. Another mistake people do is Builderman sentry placement. When playing Builderman, don't just place sentries on the ground where they're easily destroyed. Use elevated spots or hard to reach areas to slow the killer down. Also place the dispenser first and then the sentry, since the dispenser has a way smaller radius and then you can place those things closer together. That's if you want to do that, of course. Mistake number 10, and by far the biggest mistake, is not subscribing to my channel. Yeah, you heard me, I make videos that help you improve and all I'm asking for is just a little click. It's free and helps out a lot. Okay, now to the actual mistake number 10, placing John Doe's digital footprint very poorly. If you're playing John Doe, place your digital footprints near generators. That way it slows down the survivor's progress and gives you a small speed boost when someone tries to sacrifice themselves. Alternatively, you can place them at choke points to block common loop paths and force survivors into new routes. Digital footprints are super underrated and can be very overpowered if used correctly. Another mistake is underestimating Ilya's passive. When playing Ilya, doing generators boosts your healing. The more generators you complete, the more healing your pizza provides, up to 25%. So if your pizza is on cooldown, go do some generators and your next slice will be even stronger. A crucial mistake is also wasting your money on skins. Now I'm not judging you on what you're buying, but spending all your money on flashy skins is quite questionable, you know? Golden skins don't make you better or anything, in fact they might even make you a bigger target. Sure, if you got tons of money, go for it, but don't blow all your cash just to look shiny. There are other skins that are just as good, if not even better. Mistake number 13 is giving up too early and judging the game way too early. I get it, forsaking is quite hard. Bad hitboxes, lag, frustrating mechanics, it happens. But don't give up, you'll get better with time. The only real way to improve is through practice and playing, so stick with it. Mistake number 14 is walking in a straight line or being too predictable. Now this one's critical because moving in a straight line against someone like Cool Kid or 1x can punish you a lot. Be unpredictable. Juke and keep an eye on the killer and dodge when they activate abilities. If you're struggling with juking, I already made a full guide on it, so go check it out. The last and a very crucial mistake that a lot of people do is letting your supports die. Like, come on, supports are the backbone of your team. If they go down, it's probably game over. Always help them, especially someone like Taff or Dutskar, because they can barely help themselves in a chase. Because saving your supports pays off. They'll return the favor and keep you alive longer with their support abilities. That's all I could help you with today. I hope you enjoyed and maybe you learned a few things here and there. Have a great day.